Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video talking about what I think we could see at the end of March here for the, I guess, the second major release of this Dragon Ball Daima. What is this? The Decisive Duel campaign. We just got Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Majin Ku. We know that this celebration is going until mid-April, so we should be getting at least one more major release, which is going to be at the end of this month. So we'll just go ahead and talk about what I think this could be. So first of all, I just wanted to point out, so this banner is up until May 21st. I don't think that actually has any real bearing on like, oh, the Daima campaign is going to go all the way through May. I don't think that's the case. I just think, well, again, I'll be talking about this probably in a separate video because I'm going to be doing a video talking about what I think is coming in April and then what I think is coming for Anniversary. But I don't think this has anything to do with like the April celebration. I think the April stuff is going to be related to a certain tournament that happened in Super. But this I don't think is going to be related to what happens in April. Potentially Part 1 Anniversary though. But if we go down here, what I think are the actual important things is this banner. This is the campaign banner for this current celebration, is up until the 16th of April. And then we also have the login bonus, which is also important. That's up until the 16th of April as well. Anything else in here that's worth noting? I don't think so. Okay, yeah, we have the campaign medals. I mean, this actually also is kind of important as well, because this signifies that you can get the medals, I guess, all the way through the 16th of April, which would then mean that this is when the campaign goes until. So I think it's pretty safe to assume, missions as well, that this celebration is just going all the way through the 16th of April, which makes sense because that's when I think the next release would be, the next major release, right? The next major release would probably be here. So that really leaves here or here as the next major release at the end of this month. I think if I had to choose between the 26th and the 31st as to what I thought the release date would fall on for the next character, I think I probably would pick the 31st, because if we go back over here to April, we have the 2nd, and then we also have the 9th before the 16th happens, which is when we'll get the next major release, right? So I don't know if they would want to do a release on the 26th, make us wait a whole week to the 2nd, and then another whole week to the 9th, and then drop a character the following week on the 16th. That's just too long in between releases, I think. So I think what they'll probably do is they'll probably drop the next character on the 31st. I think what'll probably happen is we could see a similar teaser announcement for whatever this character is going to be, kind of like here-ish. Just to, make people aware that there's going to be a character coming not here, but actually here. They usually do this when it comes to end of month releases that are delayed until the actual final day of the month if it doesn't land on a standard release day of Wednesday. So I also kind of do want to preference this video by saying they've been very off the walls when it comes to scheduling this year. So I don't know, like literally anything can happen, I guess is what I want to say about that. But just in terms of what I think probably we're looking at the 31st for when the next release is going to happen. It could be here, but I think it's more likely here. So clearly with the celebration focusing on Dragon Ball Daima, I think the next character is going to be a pretty major release from Dragon Ball Daima. However, I do think that there's a big chance either part 1 or part 2 of the anniversary could be Dragon Ball Daima related. I think it's the chances of that are pretty high. So do I think they're going to do the absolute craziest possible release? No, I don't. I don't think they're going to give us adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku now. I think if they're going to give us adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku, it's probably going to be in the anniversary. Now, there's always a chance they just drop him now. I don't want to say there's a 0% chance, right? I'm always going to point back to this because it does actually set a precedent, right? That we've already seen this before. They dropped the first ever Beast Gohan just like seemingly in a random month before Legends Fest. Like they dropped Blue Beast as like the last release before before Legends Fest, just randomly. So I don't want to say there's a 0% chance that they could drop Super Saiyan 4 Adult Goku. But yeah, there's I think a very low chance. But this is the current Daima tag that we have in the game. And I think they really do want to flesh out like a decent lineup for the Daima team before jumping into the anniversary, which I think they'll take the opportunity to flesh it out a bit more during the anniversary. But there is very clearly one big issue with this team if you guys have used the Daima team right now, and it is the fact that this entire team gets crushed by Ultra Cell. And that is a big problem, right? If Ultra Cell is the number one most used character right now, which clearly, at least in my experience, he is, the fact that he has permanent endurance nullification means there's literally no character on this tag that can eat an ultimate or a rush from Ultra Perfect Cell, which is a big issue. That is a big problem. Typically, when we have celebrations surrounding not just Daima, but just any tag in general, any saga, whenever they're trying to build the foundation for a team to have it be relevant, they always try and make the team compete well against the current best units in the game. And obviously, Cell right now is the top dog. I think most people would agree with that. So if they really wanted to make Daima a very competitive team and viable team, the best thing they could do is to give the Daima team a character that has a second life mechanic that is not endurance. So, you know, Indestructible comes to mind, Revive comes to mind, Succession probably not. I don't think we would see Succession. It doesn't really make sense in the context of Daima, I guess, right? And if they were going to do a Succession, I guess it would end up being a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta into Goku, which we're not going to get another Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta right now. But yeah, it's really those mechanics, right? The two that come to mind. I mean, I guess Comeback potentially as well could be on the list as well, but Comeback is something we've only seen as of right now for Ultras, right? We only have 2 comebacks in the game. It's for Turles and Golden Frieza. So until they give us an LF character that with a comeback, I guess I don't want to say we can't see it, but I think the chances are lower. For me, the reason why they do comebacks is because they don't want to give Ultras a revive. And the reason why they don't want to give Ultras a revive is because it would mean it's because a revive is basically transformation, and they just don't do transformations for Ultras, right? It makes sense because then they'd have to do like a new card art for the post transformation and all that stuff. So I think that's why they do comebacks for Ultras. But in terms of Daima, we're talking about a character that has Indestructible or a revive, I think are the 2 most likely options. So when it comes down to it, I think we have 2 major options here for the end of March release for Daima. The first one would be a Goma. Again, I don't know. We're getting a massive update for this game. I think it's going to be just in time for the 7th anniversary, the first part of the 7th anniversary. They're going to introduce it. I don't know if that's what they're trying to save for introducing giant characters, but Goma, I mean, if you take a look at like the version of Goma before he becomes like giant Goma, you could probably squeeze him in to be just as big as like Fusion Zamasu. He's probably about that size. Obviously Fusion Zamasu I think is the biggest character in the game right now, but if you were going to put like the first iteration of Goma with the third eye in the game, he probably would be around the size of Fusion Zamasu, who's the current biggest character. So I think they could get away with doing that. And obviously, if you guys have watched Daima, you will know that Goma has essentially infinite health, basically. So he's a very perfect candidate, I think, probably for more so than anything an Indestructible mechanic. If you just have like a giant Goma come out, or not even a giant Goma, but just like I guess it might be just 2 separate versions of Goma. Like you have like the first version of Third Eye Goma, but then remember when Vegeta. Is it when Vegeta? No, it's actually no. It's when Goku. Sorry, when Goku as mini Super Saiyan 4 hits him with the Kamehameha, that's when he becomes like giant Goma. So I don't think we'd get that version of Goma. Obviously, they would not be able to get him in the game. But like the first third eye version of Goma, like Vegeta is pummeling him constantly, and you know the third eye activates, and he just essentially cannot die. So that I think is a very very highly likely candidate for either Indestructible or Revive. Probably Indestructible because it doesn't actually like Revive. So that could be one. And then the second option, which I think would be very interesting, is a Super Saiyan 3 Mini Goku who revives into Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku. That would be crazy. And I don't think that is completely off the table either. I did find it interesting that they decided to go with adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta here for Legends, right? So Dokkan just got mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and Legends got adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. I don't know how much I want to extrapolate from this, but to me, it almost feels like this might have been done so that when they drop mini Super Saiyan 3 into Super Saiyan 4 Goku potentially at the end of this month, it wouldn't feel as like as much of a duplicate of a release as a mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta would be. But yeah, I mean, if you guys remember back to when Goku transformed into Super Saiyan 4 for the first time as in his mini form, he was fighting Goma as Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Goma just trashes him as Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then you have the scene where Neva gives him like the energy, and there's like the cutscene of his, I don't know, it almost looked like his DNA was being like transformed, and then he just goes into the Super Saiyan 4 form. I could see that being the end of this month release, because this is why I think Daima did a good job of introducing the different forms. This is not like Legends could give us mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku as a non-major celebration character, and then still have the most exciting form from Daima as a major celebration character, which is adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then I would even argue they could even classify the full power version of Super Saiyan 4 Goku separately than just normal Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? We have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku version where it's just regular Super Saiyan 4 when he first transforms into the form. And then we have the scene where he powers up against Goma and he gets that like white outline around his body. That to me almost is like a different form of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So they could actually classify that if they wanted to as two separate forms, which I think they probably will do. We'll see. But I think it's possible, man. We could see a mini Super Saiyan 3 Goku who has a revive into Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I really think that's a possibility here. And that really would help fill out the team, right? Either a Goma with Indestructible, or reviving Super Saiyan 3 into Super Saiyan 4 mini Goku here to fulfill the second life mechanic for this team. I mean, you take a look at the meta right now, and to me, I mean, I don't think this video is probably actually going to go up before my God rank grind, which I recorded before the season ended, but I need to edit it and get it out. But I did use a future team, and literally, I would say 9 out of 10 teams that I fought in that God rank grind video were just future, either some iteration of Ultra Cell or Future Gohan and Trunks. If you're not running Future Gohan and Trunks, like, you either have to be running like Turles or like Omega or something, or even like Goku and Bardock or something like that, because Cell will just kill you. I mean, you need to have a non-endurance second life mechanic character to be able to even just have a chance, almost, it feels like. I mean, obviously you can win without it, but it feels like you're just hurting yourself deliberately for not using a revival, indestructible succession character right now because of Ultra Cell having the endurance nullification. So that's really what I think we need for Daima. And that could really position the Daima team in a spot to where we go into Anniversary Part 1 and they drop like a monster Daima character for Part 1 or Part 2 of the Anniversary. And all of a sudden, Daima's like the best team in the game or second best team in the game. And I think it's really able to compete with, like, you know, Future and all these other teams that are really, really good. Movie's still pretty good. Hybrid's still good. So I think that's what we're looking at here for the end of March release, which I think, again, probably here. Could be here, but I think we'll probably get like a teaser here, probably still on Tuesday the 25th, but it might be one of those things where it's like, oh, we're getting a character, it's dropping in, you know, 6 days, similar to what they did with Cell, but for some reason Cell dropped here. Again, still mysterious, don't know why. But yeah, I think that is most likely what we are looking at here. Either a indestructible mechanic third eye Goma character, if they don't want to save him for like introducing the playable giant character update or whatever, if that's even what they're planning on doing, or a reviving mini Super Saiyan 3 Goku into Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which would set up like a really strong lineup for Daima moving into the Anniversary. So that's just a quick thing I wanted to bring up here. You guys can let me know what you think about that. By the way, I just wanted to say that next month, so again, I'm not going to make this video about April, but this celebration ends here. I think here is probably when we'll get a free character for April, right? That'll be the next reset day, the first reset day for April. This is probably either going to be a Zenkai or a unique equip or both. And then this is when the Daima campaign actually ends. That's when like the login bonus ends and the mission ends. And this will be the final celebration we get before Anniversary starts. So we'll get a major release here. Remember last year it was Yamcha and Saiyan Saga Goku. And then we should get the final release before Anniversary here. So we do have quite a bit of time left for the Anniversary, but it is quickly approaching. So they are going to, I think, drop something here that is going to entice people to summon. Remember last year it was Ultra Golden Frieza, so that's what this slot was for. Let me know what you guys think of what we could potentially get for the final release of this Daima celebration. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.